I, 38M, recently discovered that my wife, 35F, has been involved in a deep emotional connection with someone she met online through a game. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I introduced my wife to Final Fantasy XIV as a fun way to socialize. 3 months ago, I found out she was emotionally involved with someone she met in the game. I stumbled upon their private chat messages, both in game and on Discord, and it felt like my world was falling apart. Heartbroken doesn't even begin to describe my pain. She pleaded to rebuild our marriage and promised me that her emotional affair ended in 2021. She assured me it was only an emotional connection and that she would never act on it. My wife was also dealing with other personal issues, which affected her decision making. She met him through their guild, and he is 10 years older than her. They quickly became friends, playing the game day and night, often staying up past midnight. Over time, she started feeling emotionally connected to him. They got married in the game and began engaging in descriptive role playing. She admitted that she initiated the first move to make their relationship more personal, moving their chats from in game to more personal conversations on Discord. They talked about their daily activities and passions outside the game, similar to dating. She shared her real name and personal email address with him. Their role playing evolved from playing as game characters to more personal role playing as themselves. She shared her personal fantasies. She never shared them with me. Confided in him about our marriage issues, revealed personal secrets, and exchanged personal photos. She can't recall if she sent any revealing photos, but some showed a lot of skin because she was in great shape at the time. The most painful part was them calling each other husband and wife and talking about what they do to each other when they meet in real life. She confessed to having deep feelings of love for him, daydreaming about being close to him physically, and often imagining meeting him in person. What hurt even more was discovering that she often secretly messaged him while we were in bed together. She even messaged him while we were spending time together as a family. To make matters worse, I found out she had been role playing with 4 other guys, the last one in March 2023. Although it wasn't as personal as it was with the first guy, their chats were still very intimate. Initially, she concealed critical details about the affair, unsuccessfully tried to delete messages from other men, and was overly secretive. She only confesses when she's left with no choice, fighting against revealing the truth until the very end. I uncovered most of the details about the affair myself, and getting her to confess took a lot of hard work. For some background, my wife and I have been together for 19 years and have 3 wonderful kids. We've been together since high school. From the beginning, we've loved each other deeply and passionately and have never been apart. Our early years were magical, full of love and excitement. We shared common interests like taste in music, movies, nature, gaming, love for other cultures, dreams of traveling, and starting a family. My wife is an amazing mother and wife. She is incredibly loving, profoundly empathetic, highly intelligent, and never fails to make me laugh. Unfortunately, after our children were born, my wife struggled with postpartum depression and has continued to deal with depression for many years. She also carries guilt from 2 difficult decisions due to our financial situation at the time. During her battle with depression, I was coping with anger management problems and what I thought was severe depression. Despite seeing many doctors and trying different antidepressants, nothing worked for me. I felt like a robot, moving through each day without emotional connection or feelings. With much regret and guilt, I confess that I haven't provided the support she needed and didn't act as the caring husband I should have been. We fought frequently, and I was verbally harsh, constantly shouting and condescending. I failed to help with housework, assist with the children, or be there for her emotional needs. My wife and children walked on eggshells around me. My demanding job took up so much of my time and energy that I failed to make her feel loved, cherished, or appreciated. Despite our marriage falling apart, my wife chose to stay with me, even though she had every opportunity to leave. I started seeing a new doctor who was empathetic and very understanding of my situation. This doctor looked into my condition more thoroughly, thinking the real reason for my symptoms wasn't the medications, but something deeper inside my body. After several blood tests, I discovered that I had low testosterone and hormonal imbalances for many years, probably since my late teens. It's a relief to finally understand why I've been feeling this way. After 6 weeks of testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, I noticed an incredible rejuvenation. I started feeling like my 18-year-old self again. My energy was at its peak. I began exercising and lifting weights again, and my brain fog vanished. My overall mood improved a lot. For the first time, I felt like I finally had control over my emotions. Unfortunately, just as I was beginning to feel hopeful about the positive changes in my life, that was when I discovered her affair. I chose to forgive my wife and rebuild our relationship because she stood by me through all the tough times, no matter how difficult it was to live with me. Before my testosterone therapy, she suffered from years of neglect and mistreatment from me. Breaking up with her, now that I'm feeling better, would be unfair. I believe she wouldn't have felt the need to cheat if I had been more emotionally connected, attentive, and loving. I began working immediately on reconnecting with my wife and building a stronger foundation. I wrote her several heartfelt letters, something I haven't done since we were teenagers, to express my deep love for her and apologize for neglecting her. We both acknowledged our main problem is communication and always being overly cautious about each other's feelings. I broke down in tears in front of her and our children, thanking her for not leaving me and for not giving up on me. This was the first time I ever cried in front of my wife and children. I have fallen in love with her all over again, and I feel more emotionally attached to her than I ever have since we were teens. I've started regularly doing chores at home, helping her with her studies, and spending more time with the kids. We are both reigniting our love for each other and finally communicating. Our intimacy has greatly improved and become more fun because we started living out her fantasies. Thanks to the energy boost from my TRT, we have been intimate almost every day, sometimes even 2 to 3 times a day. Before this, we were lucky to be intimate more than once a week. It has brought us closer together and added new excitement to our relationship. She even said she hasn't felt this in love with me since we were teenagers. Even though I've wholeheartedly forgiven my wife for her affair, I can't stop thinking about it. It's always on my mind, whether I'm working or relaxing. I think about it constantly, maybe 100 times a day. I have frequent panic attacks and vivid nightmares where I see them being together. It feels exhausting. Plus, I'm also filled with regret for how badly I treated her years before I got help. I feel guilty all the time and keep replaying how I mentally mistreated her. I cry nearly every day and struggle to eat or drink thinking about it. It's really draining me mentally. I'm also having major trust issues. I hope to repair our relationship and maintain our family unity, but there's a part of me that wants to leave due to her ongoing dishonesty and holding on to the secrecy, despite the many chances she's had to come clean. Despite this, I believe she is making a real effort to change.